All right, young scholars, welcome to CMP 108 Spreadsheet Essentials. Good morning, Naya. Welcome back.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Dwayne. Welcome back.
Good morning, Professor.
Good morning. Good morning, Calvin. Welcome back. Former young scholars who had me last semester. So you guys may have noticed yesterday, I sent out this long-winded announcement. So as Calvin, Naya, Dwayne, and I think one other student is in this course that I had last semester. Last semester, I taught Android Studio and Java Programming 2, which I hadn't taught in a couple of years. So I did all of those courses on Zoom. We met, we went through stuff. All of them, happened every meeting. Whereas Excel courses like this, I teach every semester. So I have all sorts of stuff available where you guys can just watch off of YouTube. So either way, and technically I could do both for these. We could have a synchronous remote session like we're going to do today for those of you that want it. And then the other half can just do the Bicronus remote version. So basically, I have Caitlin, Jaylene, Lauren, Megan, Giovanni, and that's it. Are the only ones that gave me an answer to which option they would prefer. So basically, the synchronous remote option is you show up during our scheduled Zoom meetings and just kind of pay attention as I walk through everything. The other option is basically on Mondays, we're going to have an exercise that basically is just, hey, this is how you do something. And then on Wednesday, we're going to have an exercise where, hey, this is going to help you do the homework. During the first half of the class, it's all important because it's going to prepare you to do the midterm. There's 13 homeworks. Basically, the first 5, what I show you in the example is similar to what you're going to have to do for the homework. And then the next 8, I literally am going to show you how to do the homework. So if you're going to do the bisynchronous option, there's going to be a few class sessions that I'm going to require you guys to show up regardless. And I'll show you that momentarily when I walk through the course syllabus. So look through that announcement on the announcement tabs and kind of read through my explanation. And in the Zoom chat, go ahead and let me know what option you think works best for you. And like I said, 5 of you I already have. Caitlin, Jaylene, Lauren, Megan, and Giovanni already emailed me with what option works best for you. So here's my email address on the syllabus. If you ever need to meet with me other than course session, go ahead and email me. We can set up a meeting sometime during the week on Zoom. Basically, Monday through Saturday works for me. Usually Sundays aren't that great. But like I said, Monday through Saturday, perfectly fine by me. So in essence, as I said, this course is broken down with the purpose of teaching you how to, in essence, master Excel skills. So the first half of the course, the way I broke it down is you're going to be giving basically word problems. kind of related to business concepts to kind of teach you the formulas and all the different aspects associated with the more common Excel components, features, formulas, etc. Whereas the second half of the course is going to be more geared towards what's called VBA. And that's more kind of macros and kind of ties in a little programming with Excel. So the way the course is broken down grade-wise is those 13 assignments will be 40% of the final grade. Like I said, the first 5, you're basically going to see an example in class on Wednesday, like today, where it's going to be something similar to what you have to do for homework. And then the last 8, we're basically going to do together. There's going to be a group project, 20% of the grade. There's going to be 3 of you that'll work together. So the 3 exercises in Excel that you guys are going to do together as a group, we're actually going to do in class on February 14th in class. And then you guys will kind of meet together as your 3-person group, discuss, who's going to do which of the 3, go back, watch that video, do them together. Each of you will pick one to do. You do that one. Then your presentation, the last class on the 6th of May, will just be discussing, hey, we had these issues. This is how we resolved them, etc. The midterm exam is 20% of the grade. Literally, that's going to be the only difficult thing you're going to have the entire semester. The reason for that is it's literally going to combine everything before that, the word problems, everything, all the formulas. That is why you'll have that entire day. So the midterm exam is scheduled for March 6th, so right before the spring break. So on the 4th, on the Monday session, we're going to do a practice exam together. Everything we've covered before that, you can use for your midterm exam. So it'll be open notes. You can use the YouTube videos, any of the homeworks you've done, that practice exam, etc. And then the final exam is 20%. So both exams are 20%. Final exam, like I told you, will be exactly the same thing as the review. You're just going to have to do 2 message boxes using Excel VBA. So there's no textbook required for this course. Like I said, basically, I'm going to set this course up, and you could see this if you look at my professors for Seton Hall University, where I also teach this class. Basically, if you see me doing it, you understand the way I do it. When I'm walking through it, you should be able to do the homework with no issues walking through that. But if you ever have an issue, email me. We can meet on Zoom, discuss it, etc. So I only accept late work in extreme circumstances, death in the family, you're sick, COVID, whatever. Send me a doctor's note, send me the obituary link, etc. The reason being, in most cases, you'll know, well, yes, all the homework assignments are up already. So you know all of them. They're always going to be due Sunday, 11:59 p.m. And like I said, in most instances, we're going to do the homeworks together. You want to work efficiently with your group members for that group project. As I mentioned twice already, email me anytime you get stuck with the questions. As I'm sure you understand, everything is going to be in Microsoft Excel. So all of your submitted files should be in Microsoft Excel. So basically every week there's no exam, there's a homework assignment. That's how he got the 13 homeworks. As mentioned, there's a midterm and final. They're each going to cover the materials covered beforehand, but like I said, the final is literally just going to test your mastery of one specific concept related to Excel VBA, whereas the midterm is going to test everything we touched on before that. And I mentioned about the late assignments earlier. So if you are going to take the Bicronus option, like I said, I'm perfectly fine running the class where some of you show up every class and then others take the Bicronus option where you just watch the videos and do what you need to do. There's still going to be certain classes I need you to show up to. So today, the 14th, we're going to be doing that group project where I'll walk you through the 3 exercises. The 19th, the 4th of March for the midterm review, because that class session will not be recorded. So I need you to show up then. The 29th of April for the final review, and the 6th of May for the group project presentation. Now, keep this in mind. When we set up the groups on the 14th of February, if you're in a group where, let's say, one person's synchronous and the other 2 are bicronus, make sure that you guys get your emails, contact info together, etc. So again, that's today, 1/17, February 14th, where we're going to set up the groups and go through the group exercises. February 19th, March 4th for the midterm review, April 29th for the final review, and May 6th for the group project presentations. Those are the mandatory meetings that you have to attend, even if you choose the Bicronus option. So this is big in this class, plagiarism. Basically, there's absolutely no reason whatsoever for you guys to need to cheat in this class. Like I said, 5 of the 13 homeworks basically are very similar to what I'm going through in class. You just kind of make the minor adjustments, and then the other 8 we do together. No reason whatsoever to copy other people's works. The midterm, you can use everything we covered before that. No reason to copy anybody else's work. The final, literally, like I said, going to be the same as the final review. And then the group project, well, you'll have yourself and 2 other people to rely on. So again, no reason to cheat for any specific reason. Okay, so let's check in, see what we have here. Dwayne has no preference. Okay. Thomas Turner is by Kronos. Brittany is by Kronos. Curtis to Kronos. Maya will do synchronous. Okay. She Okay. So, Patrick, I'm going to type in the people I don't have an answer from yet. Faith is synchronous. Okay. All right. So with the synchronous, with those of you that'll meet with me synchronous, the way it'll work is each meeting, I will post up a Zoom meeting link, just like so I did today. And then we'll go through the exercise just like we do in the video, but at a pretty slower pace. The individuals that are going to take the Bicronus option, you're going to download that file and then walk through the video. Like I said, on the Monday, you're just going to download the video, go through the video so you know what you're doing. Make sure you do it. Like I said, the Wednesday ones, you go through that, that's going to prep you for the homework. But make sure you do the Monday ones too, because like I said, all of this is going to prep you for the midterm. Yes, Lauren. Yes. Yes. So Lauren has them right here. 214, 219, 34 for the midterm review, 429 for the final review, and 56 for the project presentation. Thank you very much, Lauren. For today, we're downloading the stock market file. But if you're going to do the Bicronus option, you'll see each day basically is going to have its own specific file. So for example, next week, Monday is motorcycles, Wednesday is surveys, and Excel 2 homework is going to be similar to the surveys. I think there's 1 week where I also sneak in VLOOKUP. Yeah. Okay. So in 2 weeks, we'll also do VLOOKUP. But as I said, they all have recordings associated with it anyway. So it's not the end of the world. If you're not entirely sure, like I said, you're more than welcome to email. So who has not answered. So Lean, I hope I pronounced that right. Nick, Calvin, and Michael. Did any of you have a preference with respect to the synchronous or bicronus option? Okay, that's perfectly fine. Nick is going to do synchronous. Okay. All right, perfectly fine by me. So then, like I said, those of you that are going to do that bicronus option on the days that you're not going to, that are not the mandatory ones, you would go through, you download the file, you'd watch the video to walk through that file, you download the file, walk through the video. It may be in your best interest to look at the homework first. It should be pretty clear which one is the Wednesday one, because it's usually the second one. But like I said, there may be a couple where there's 3 files and you just walk through those videos. You know, they could be anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes, and Calvin's going to do synchronous. Okay. All right. And just make sure that you are in for those 5 mandatory classes, or yes, 5 classes. All right. So today we're going to do this nice, cute little exercise. So go ahead and download this stockmarket.xlsx Excel file, and it should look something like this. So, you know, ideally you want to make some money, invest in the stock market, your future. Might go ahead and purchase some stocks. So you can see how old this file is here, since Twitter and Callaway don't even have stock anymore. And I'm pretty sure Facebook's stock symbol is now Meta. But in this example, I'm just going to make up a number of shares owned. Do I just right click and press save as? You should be able to just click on it and it should open like this. And then you'll have this button here with the down arrow to download. Or you can click the 3 dots and select download original file. I'm hoping those both work on your end also. Yep. Okay, good. Okay. So the numbers I'm going to use here may not exactly match the video, but that's perfectly fine. So I'm going to say I own 100 shares of Twitter stock. And I own, let's say, 70 shares of Callaway Golf stock. And I own 2,200 shares of Amazon. And, let's say I'm not that big of a fan of Facebook, so I only own 7 shares of Facebook. Let's make that a little bigger so everybody can see. So I have 100 shares of Twitter stock, 70 shares of Callaway stock, 2,200 shares of Amazon stock, and 7 shares of Facebook stock. So then I got to come up with the price per share paid for stock. So I'm just going to make a claim on this. So I'm going to claim that I paid $5.25 for the Twitter stock, $3.12 for the Callaway stock, $5 even for the Amazon stock, and let's say $12 even for the Facebook stock. And again, like I said, these may not match exactly with the video. That's perfectly fine. Because once this recording finishes up for the class, I'll post that up on YouTube too, and post that link for you as well. So then we see in the next column that we are asked for the current per share cost. So the easiest way to find that is with Yahoo Finance, where you could just search for the stock symbol. So I'm going to search for Facebook first. So it's 363. And because the market is open, it keeps changing. So let's just say 364. So that was the last one. 364. And then the second to last one is Amazon. Which is 151.20. Let's say 151.26. So this 364 is our last one for Facebook. And the 151.26 is the second to last one for Amazon. The next column, dividend per share. You'll notice if we scroll down on that page where we search for the info on Yahoo Finance, ex-dividend date, NA, that means it doesn't have a dividend. So that means that would be 0. So for Amazon, it's 0. Let's go back. Did Facebook have one? Okay, so Facebook also has 0 for the dividend. So the dividend per share would be $0. So again, if there is a dividend, it'll show you a dividend date here. And on the line above it, this forward dividend, it'll show you what the amount is, which will be important momentarily. Now, since the other two no longer exist, I'm just going to make up stock prices for them. So let's say Twitter is $80.50. And let's say that Callaway Golf ended up at $13.45. And let's say that Twitter gave us a dividend of 12 cents per share per year. And that Callaway also had no dividend. In every instance, we ended up making money on our stock. You know, $5 up to 80, 3 up to 13, 5 up to 151, 12 up to 364. That may not always be the case. So you'll notice the next column over here, column H, current profit / loss per share. You'll notice it's already done. How come that happened? Well, because I had formulas in there for you already. So the formula takes your current per share cost and subtracts the price that you paid. So in this first instance, it's $80.50 minus $5.25 to give you $75.25. And on and on and on. Pretty simple, right? So that is a simple subtraction formula in Excel. You need an equal sign, one cell, which is just a cell reference. We'll talk about what are called absolute cell references later on in the semester. And then subtract, and then another cell reference. In the next column here, we have current total value of stock, which is a multiplication. It takes our current share per cost and multiplies it by our number of shares owned. So that is equals cell reference times cell reference. If you wanted to, you would total the current value of your stock using this little weird sidewards M, which is called AutoSum. You could click on that, and it automatically does equal sum and then highlights those 4 within the range here, within the parentheses, and you could press enter, and it will add all of them together. You'll notice that most of our earnings are from our Amazon stock. That's probably because that's where we have the most shares. Then in the next column here, we have this current profit / loss percentage. That calculates your profit loss per share divided by the price that you paid. So how come they're all positive? Well, that's because all of them, all of your current profit / loss per shares were positive. If I went back and said, instead of, let's say Eli, for example, instead of it being $13.45, it was now $2.45. We went back over. It's now negative 21.47% because it's now a loss. We lost 67 cents per share. There's still some value to that stock for us, but we lost money on it. And then this last column is our yield column. So what this does is it calculates our dividend per share per year divided by our price per share paid for the stock. And yield also is a percentage, just like the current profit loss percentage. So if you have a dividend that is zero, just like I showed you with the ex-dividend date, where it's NA, that means there's no dividend. Your yield is also going to be zero because there is no dividend. The yield percentage will be zero. Anything divided by zero is zero. Remember? From probably elementary school. So your yield and current profit loss percentage should be set as percentages, and the rest of these, except for the number of shares owned, should be set as currency. So you'll notice up top here in the number formatting section, you have your currency option, which you can set as accounting. You have your percentage option, or you can right-click into a cell and select Format Cells and change your number format that way if you so choose. So even though, I'm sure some of you might be upset by this, but even though it's the first class, there's a homework assignment. Like I said, you'll have till Sunday night to do it. It's very simple though. So using the class lecture from today, you're asked to build a spreadsheet that will compute some statistics about your created stock portfolio. Your spreadsheet should have the following columns: name of the stock, stock symbol, number of shares owned, price per share paid for the stock, current per share price, dividend per share per year. Your portfolio should consist of 4 different stocks. You may have as many shares of each stock as you'd like. Assume you purchased the shares of these companies on the day you turn 16 at the open. That means the open of the market. Look up the current price. That means the price on your 16th birthday, and the dividend. The dividend could be whatever the dividend is today. That's fine. Note that some companies do not pay a dividend. just like I showed you. And you're more than welcome to use Yahoo Finance in class as I did. You can also use MSNBC. There are plenty other available resources online for you to look up stock prices. But for each stock, you want to compute the following: current profit or loss per share, current total value of the stock, current profit loss percentage, and the yield. You're asked to compute the portfolio value as shown in class. All number values that deal with dollar amounts should be currency with 2 decimal places. All of the decimals, all of the percentages should be formatted as 1 decimal. So when you're doing the homework, when you click on your percentage, you can use this option here within the number formatting panel to decrease a decimal. So when you're doing that homework assignment, you're more than welcome to go ahead and do this or use this exact same template that I provided for the in-class exercise we just did. But go ahead, maybe change the name to, whatever your initials are, maybe your first name, stock market, some way that it differentiates your file from everybody else's in the class when you go ahead and submit that. So like I said, those first 5 homework assignments are pretty much, hey, we did this in class. Now the homework is something very similar to what we did in class. Yes, so you want to change the companies specifically because, like I said, I use 2 that don't even have stocks anymore. So that's pretty useless to you. But Amazon and Facebook, everybody, likes to use them. So that's why I use them as the example. But so for example, you could use AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. So prior to COVID, their stock was like $3 or $4. Now it's $156. So, you might use Disney if you want. And in their example, they do have a dividend. So their dividend is 60 cents. And you'll notice that they calculate their yield as 0.64%. They're going on their basis of how many stocks they believe are out there and available. But you're going to base yours based on your calculation of how many stocks you're claiming you have of the specific. So like in the example, you're going to pick any 4. You can have as many shares as you like. Like I just used 170, 2,207, just because those are simple numbers. You guys can put in 1 million, 2 billion, whatever you want to put in. That's perfectly fine with me. So are there any questions on anything? No? Okay. If not, those of you that are going to do the synchronous model, I will see you on Monday. Those of you that are going to do the Bicronus model, I will see you on the 14th. And feel free to ask me any questions on email. Does Yahoo show the stock symbols too? Yes, that was Yahoo Finance. So Yahoo itself will not. You have to look at Yahoo Finance. It's a separate part of Yahoo.
I have a question.
Yes.
How do we find the year? Because you said we have to go back like to our 16th birthday to find which stocks are
Yeah,
available.
so see this chart here that has the um specifics?
All right. Oh, okay.
So you might do like 5 year, and what was your 16th? What month?
November 17th.
November 17th of
Mm-hmm. 2020.
2020?
Yes.
Okay, so November, so you might just do November 1, 20,
All
and
right.
you would click on that, and then it would break it into like this, November, and you'd scroll through and go through and select whatever your specific date was.
Mm.
And then on the side here, it would show you the open. So $94.75 for Disney.
Oh, okay.
So for those that didn't see that, this chart that pops up here, when you look at the stock price, you click, 5 year, and then scroll through. Up at the top in a black box, you'd get the month, comma, and then like 19 for 2019, 20 for 2020. And you click whatever month and year you want to expand it. And then you'd go through and select your date. So, for example, I chose 11/22/2023 just because. And then on the left-hand side, it shows you the open price for that date. So $90.34 in that example. And in some instances, like I said, courses will take, less than well, I'm pretty sure all of the course sessions will be less than the hour and 45 minutes, except for the midterm review. But most of them will go about an hour, hour and 15 minutes, just as we go through the processes. Yes, yeah. So on the chart, when you click, it just shows, 1 year, 2 year, 5 year. So that's just how you would expand it out. And then you'd have to just go through by month specifically. All right. So if there are no further questions, I will see everybody next time that is going to do the synchronous option. Enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully the rest of your first week of the semester goes as good as today hopefully went.
Thank you. Have a good one.
One more thing.
Yes.
Are you going to be sending us another link on Wednesday?
So each class I'll put in the Zoom link in those folders, just like I did today.
Okay. Okay. So we're meeting again on Wednesday, right?
Every class, Monday, Wednesday.
Or
Hello, Professor.
Yes.
Yeah, I just have a quick question.
Okay.
So, for if I can't get my exact date, my birthday, It's would be March 14th. The only date that I'm getting close to that would be March 8th. Would that be acceptable, or does it need to be the exact?
Yeah, that's fine.
Fine.
That's perfectly fine.
And
Because
if
I'm not gonna literally go and check, oh, Nick was born March 8th, but he submitted March 4th. No, I'm not gonna go and check that.
Gotcha. And if I'm not mistaken, you would want the price that it opened in, correct?
Yeah, it should show you like the open,
Close.
close. Because,
Uh,
throughout the course of the day, it might change 12,000 times.
okay. Okay, that's all I wanted to ask. Thank you so much, Professor. Have a great day.
You too, thank you.
Thank you.